Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru,
Waheguru, Waheguru, Waheguru. मैं नाही किछ हो नाही कि चाहे न मोरा उस लज्जा राख ले हो सदना जन तोरा सदना जन तोरा। गुरुद्वारे सत्संग जी रन की फतेह पाने जी। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। Don't worry, the talk will be in English. We start thinking straight Punjabi. Alright, Bhai Sahib introduced me earlier. So you've got this leaflet in front of you. So the main thing, so I'll talk about this quickly so you know what you're looking at. The main thing we do is called spreading Guru's wisdom. Our philosophy is very simple. Sikhi doesn't need preaching, it needs teaching. Sikhi is so beautiful. When I was just walking past, Auntie Ji earlier was talking to, she bought all the presents for you guys, so you know who she is. She was saying, Sikhi is so amazing, such a beautiful religion. And this is very true. Sikhi is so beautiful, it's so amazing. So Sikhi doesn't need us to sell it to you. We don't need to sell it to you, so you buy it. What we need to do is tell it to you. Yeah? No preaching, just teaching. So we're spreading the wisdom. Whoever buys it, they'll buy it because of what it is. It doesn't need a salesman. You just need someone to tell you. So, we're ready here to hear about the Sahibzade story. You'll be watching a little bit about the Sahibzade. In terms of understanding Sikhi, I think of life like three circles. If you have a big circle, you have a middle circle, and you have a little circle in the middle. The shorter circle. In life, call this the why, the how, and the what. So when we know what we do as a Sikh, we know that Sikhs keep 5Ks, they go to Gurdwara, they matha tek, yeah? These are all things that you guys know, and all the adults tell us a lot about the what of Sikhi. Ki karde Sikh. They go to Gurdwara Sunday in this country, yeah? They matha tek, the Guru Gobind Singh, they have prasad, they have langar, that we have. And also we know a little bit about the how. The how is that there were 10 gurus, right? Then we know where did Sikhi come? Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Inside Guru Granth Sahib Ji there's Bani. How do we live as a Sikh? We sing Kirtan, we might do part. We know some of these things, but a lot of the time they don't tell us the why. And the thing is, people start actions from the why. They don't start actions from the how, what and the how. So the why of Sikhi is very important. And if you look on this piece of paper, what you see is, there's 4 things that we do. Ignore the last one, but the first 3 are important. The Waheguru course, the 3rd one, this is a 12-week course. We teach people 1 evening a week, a course which... Interesting. We teach people a course where they go from Guru Nanak to now. And they try to understand the why. Every step, what happened. I notice in this country, in the whole country, there's not one course which teaches Sikhs about Sikhi. There's a lot of courses, you can go to university about Guru Granth Sahib. You can do 1 or 2 courses in this country with the World Sikh University. But for the armed sangat, in a Gurdwara, most Gurdwara don't have a course which is about Sikhi. There are courses to learn how to be an academic in Sikhi. But most people don't want to be an academic in Sikhi. They just want to be a Sikh. And for the parents' age, this is the course for that. But also for you lot, as you get older, see the first one, it's called Basics of Sikhi. Yeah? The first one. This is a YouTube channel. Go on YouTube, type in these 3 words, Basics of Sikhi, and there's loads of videos, about 80 videos at the moment about Sikhi. Some are small, about 5-10 minutes. What's the point of life? Why did Guru Nanak come? All these things. Some of them are longer, like Japji Sahib. What does it mean? What is the Mool Mantar? Right? We're trying to answer that question in many ways. So even the people that are into Sikhi can learn more. The ones that are not into Sikhi, they can learn more. And the people that just want to learn a little bit more about the history, they can learn that as well. It's like comprehensive, as you might say. So, Maharaj Ji Kirpa, this week, or this talk today, is going to be about the Sahibzade. Can I just have the kids that are about 8 years old put their hands up? Okay, alright, kids, how old are you? Are you 8? Stand up for a second. You're 8 years old, yeah? Alright, come out here. Come, one of you. Just not both of you, one of you. I want somebody else who's 6 years old. No, you can go sit down. We need one of you. Which one of you wants to win? Okay, both of you be up. Anybody 6? Anybody even younger than that? 6 years old? So just imagine you shrink one of these. It's alright. Just shrink him a little bit. And he's not shrinking. So let's imagine he's 6 and he's 8. Now imagine how little they look. Especially my kid's about 4 years old, so I can imagine my son's about here. And they cook in the chote lagde again. This is the older of the chote Sahibzade, yeah? And then the youngest one, Baba Fateh Singh, is even younger than this age. He's about here. These are the age of the people that we're going to talk about today. Go sit down now. Thanks, kids. Appreciate it. What's funny is, between 6 and 8 is 7. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji was 7 years old when he first wrote a Shabad, which is in Guru Granth Sahib. Can you believe that? 7 years old, and it's in there. It's called Patti. Patti is about teaching the letters. You know the Uda, Ada, Idi? They actually wrote a whole part about each letter and a deeper level within that. So Sikhi, imagine when all of you go upstairs and Matha Tek, there was once Guru Nanak who wrote something when he was 7 years old. And it's in there. And all the adults are Matha taking to that. One of the Gurus was only 5 years old. Anybody here 5 years old? He looks about 5. How old are you? Oh no! Sorry about that. My son's about 4 or 5. So 5 years old was a Guru. So Sikhi is not just for the old people, it's for you lot as well. It's for you lot. Yeah? Don't think this talk is not for you. It's for you as well. Because the Gurus were younger than you. Yeah? So you got your younger brothers and sisters, the Gurus were their age. So Sasangaji, what I was trying to say is, we need to teach our kids the why of Sikhi. Kyun? Sikhi kyun bani? Kyun kitta hai sara kam jo si dekh rahe hege hain? Bhai Taru Singh ne jo karna hega hun. We know about Bhai Taru Singh Shahidi, how they were cut and they were scalped. But kyun? Why did they want to kill the Sikhs? Why did Sikhs become so amazing? Kyun hoya? This is what I'm trying to talk today. Maharaj Ji Kirpa, and the Sahibzade, Hazir Nazir, and the Amar Shaheeds that they are, they will help us today to talk about this why. Don't believe that right now, Gurus aren't here. Gurus are here. The Shaheed Singhs are here. It means the Sikhs don't die. They live forever. Do you understand that? We've got a soul inside us. We know about the soul, yeah? If you follow Sikhi, that soul does not go back into this life cycle. It lives forever. So they are Amar Shaheed. They live around. They're around us. The Shaheed, they come and help people as well. So imagine right now, although the people here sitting here, you can see them, there's probably another 50, 60 Shaheeds just listening to the Katha. Because they like listening to Katha about their Gurus. They love it. But sanut desdeni. Yeah? So we should try and develop that spiritual eye so we can see these people. And if you don't believe it, my wife, she's Russian. She was in Russia once. She was feeling very lonely. She was a Singhi in Russia. And one day, because of Guru's grace, she suddenly looked around and saw a whole army behind her of all the Singhs. She thought she was alone, but there was a whole forge with her. The Sikhi is amazing. We don't even know that these souls are here listening to the Katha. So, one thing we don't need to tell our kids is, why did the Shaheeds give their life for Sikhi? What was it about Sikhi that they used to say, Sir jaave, ta jaave, meri Sikhi siddhak na jaave. Let my head go, but let my faith in Sikhi not go. Why was Sikhi so important? Why was it so amazing? Why wouldn't they leave Sikhi? So we'll talk about that today. Before I came in here, I saw this book. I'm still going to get it later on. And it's funny, whenever you see Sikhi, you just grab onto something to try to use it. At the end of this book, on the other side, you see the Shaheeds there, huh? Now what it says at the top there is something very nice. It says, death would not be called bad if, oh people, Death would not be called bad, oh people, if one knew how to die. Now you might think, what do you mean know how to die? When you get shot and you die, you don't have to worry about knowing how to die. Your heart stops beating, you die. Everybody knows how to die because everybody dies, है ना? Jo aaya so chalsi, sab koi aayi wari hai. Yeah? Everybody has to go. You know that, innit, kids? Parents don't tell you sometimes. Everybody has to die. We all know that, right? Everybody has to. Has there been anybody in the history of mankind that didn't die? Look around you, everybody gets to about 100, 120, then they pass on, don't they? There's no one around, been around for 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years. Everybody passed away. Yeah? And everybody got born, and everybody has to go. So why does it say, if one knew how to die? Surely everybody knows how to die. Sare marde hi hage? Why is this important? Because there's two deaths. There's two deaths. Let's talk about that, yeah? There's two deaths. The first death is a physical death, right? Your body dies. The second death is spiritual death. Your spirit dies. But the second death doesn't come to everybody. Some people, they don't die spiritually. They live forever. What we just talked about. Everybody's in a life cycle like this. Yeah, like this, they're in a life cycle. And they're trapped. Have you gone to a pet shop? Have you seen those little rabbits and hamsters? They go round and round and round. Have you seen that ever? They just run around the circle. That's like what everybody else is doing. They're just running round and round and round. 8.4 million lives, back to human, oh, messed it up. Back down to 8.4 million lives, back to human, oh, messed it up. They just do this all life cycle long. And some people, they break free. They come out of this life cycle. And they don't die. The soul lives forever. Wouldn't that be nice? You still be around, still see your family. They can't see you, but you can see them, and you live forever. This is what's on offer here. And I'll tell you what it means. The word, we use it a lot. Is any of you lot called Amrit? Anybody called Amrit here? Put your hands up if your name is Amrit. There's always one. Well done. His name is Ranjeet Singh, yeah? Amrit. Mrit means death. If you didn't know, I'll tell you now. Mrit means death. But there's a in front of it. Means no. Mrit. Amrit means you don't die. You live forever. So the physical death will come to everybody. But those people who live this death, they won't get the spiritual death. And they will be Amrit. They will live forever. And is anybody called Amar here? Amar. Amar Preet, Amar Deep, Amarjeet, come on. There must be somebody called Amar. Put your hands up. Hanji. Somebody called Amar over here on the right. Amar means forever. And Guruji said that there's a city called Amarpuri. Yeah? Like we go, there's loads of cities in India called Puri, something Puri, yeah? Amarpur, Anandapur. There's a city called Amarpuri. And in Amarpuri, people live forever. Those people that come out of this life cycle and they live forever, they are Amrit. They go to Amarpuri. And that's where we want to go. Alright? So the destination in life is break out of the hamster wheel. Get out and go to Amarpuri. Destination, Amarpuri. That's where you want to go, yeah? So, what is it about Sikhi? Now, you know the Chote Sahibzade? They're 6 and 8 years old, right? Amazing. At this age, they figured out this truth. The one I just told you about, they figured it out when they were 6, 8 years old. They realized that they had to go to Amarpuri. Does Amarpuri mean you live really, really old in a human life? Does it mean that you're involved in a human life? Or does it mean a spiritual life? Which one is it? Human, old, long-lived life? Long life, human life? Or long life, spiritual life? Which one do you think? Spiritual or human? Where's people in Amarpuri? They live forever. Is there a body there? Or is it only a soul? So the physical death doesn't matter. If you want to go to Amarpuri, it doesn't matter what physical death you die. You understand that? The physical death is not related to going to Amarpuri. To go to Amarpuri, you have to have a spiritual life, but not a spiritual death. If you become spiritual, you go to Amarpuri. If you die spiritually, you won't go to Amarpuri. So this is what matters. The spiritual life not the physical life. Okay? Chote Sahibzade, you know when you do something, you normally do it because of your family, your culture, and your religion. That's how we act. We get this idea of acting because of what we've been taught by our family. We do it because of what we've been taught by our culture, Punjabi culture, English culture, and finally we do it because of our religion. You know those young 3 kids, they had 3 amazing things. Let's talk about those. Imagine their family, right? Let's imagine a family tree. Chote Sahibzade at the youngest, yeah? They're at lower level. Who was their dad? Who's their family? Go on. Guru Gobind Singh ji, shabash. She knows. Imagine if your dad was Guru Gobind Singh. Everybody was taking Amrit. Your dad is Guru Gobind Singh. So don't have to imagine it. You're living that life. Now, imagine who their grandfather was. This is the family they come from, yeah? You got your grandparents, haven't you? You look at them sometimes, and they look after you and your parents on a day off, right? So, their grandparent was Guru Tegh Bahadur, the 9th Guru. And the 9th Guru gave his life as well. He was beheaded in Delhi. Not for saving Sikhi, but for saving all the Hindus. They saved the Hindus from being destroyed. That was their grandfather. Who was their great-grandfather? Come on, who was the great-grandfather of the Chote Sahibzade? Now their father was Guru Gobind Singh. Their father was Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. Who's Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji's father? Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji, the 6th Guru, is their great-grandfather. And Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji, when he was very young, about 10, 12 years old, he picked up 2 swords. Everybody said, be peaceful. He said, no, he picked up 2 swords. And he's called Miri Piri De Malik. That's their great-grandfather. Now let's look at their great-great-great-grandfather. Who is that? Is it great-great-grandfather? Great-great-grandfather. Not the great-great-great-grandfather. The great-great-grandfather. It was Guru Arjan Dev Ji. What do we call them? Shahida De Sirtaj. That's who these people came down from. The 5th Guru, their great-great-grandfather, he gave his life. Their great-grandfather fought in battles. Their grandfather gave his life. And their father fought in battles. So of course they were going to be brave, isn't it? They're from a family of martyrs, right? If our family every year opened a shop and they all ran a shop, we'd all end up running shops. If we had great-great-grandfather always lawyer, we're going to become lawyers. But if our family tree consists of saints and soldiers, then we're going to become saints and soldiers. This is our family lineage. We are the brothers and sisters of those Char Sahibzade. You know who the cousin brother was of the Char Sahibzade? They had a cousin brother, very famous cousin brother. Anybody know? Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji was a cousin brother. Yeah? The 8th Guru is a cousin of the Chote Sahibzade. The 8th Guru was 5 years old and he became a Guru. So imagine, young Fateh Singh is 6 years old and he knows who his great-great-granddad was. He knows who his great-grandfather was, his grandfather was, and he knows who his cousins are. He knows his dad as well. Imagine that. When he's 6 years old, he knows all of this history and the family. It's in his blood. That's why he was so brave. But it's in your blood as well. To see Katani, you're the Chote Sahibzade are our brothers and sisters. Now, there's a culture in Sikhi of being a warrior, isn't it? We know about that, right? What do we do at the end of the program? We all go, Bale Sonehal Sat Sri Akal. We have this warrior culture. People walk around carrying swords. When you Matha take to Guru Granth Sahib Ji, you see shastras and kirbans in front. Have you got them in your house? Have you got a big khanda in your house? Or swords hanging up in your house? Have you seen that in your house, anybody? Have you got pictures of Guru Gobind Singh Ji with a big sword like this? Most people don't have that outside. The normal white friends of yours, they don't have swords in their houses. They don't go around shouting Jakari. They don't go around saying, let's carry a kirpan. This is not normal culture. This is the Sikh culture. It's very unique. Maharaj made a warrior culture. Right? They done loads of things to give the Sikhs bravery in the culture. But to go even further, the religion itself has something very special. I want to talk to you, this is the main part. This is the why of Sikhi. Yes, they had a culture. Yes, they had this family. But there was something special about Sikhi that made them very brave. And this special something is getting forgotten about a little bit. It's a bit of a shame, but people are forgetting that there's this special something out there as well. The first one is that Waheguru made Sikhi. Can we just say that again? Waheguru made Sikhi. Guruji didn't make Sikhi. We all think Guru made Sikhi. This is not true. If it was Guru who made Sikhi, we would say Guruji ka Khalsa, Guruji ki Fateh. Wouldn't we? But do we say that? No. What do we say? Waheguru ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru ji ki Fateh. At the end of the Ardas, when we say Agya Pai Akal ki Tabe Chalayo Panth, what that means is when the order came from God, that's when the Panth started. Nowadays, we think Guru Nanak Dev Ji started this Panth. But he didn't. Guru Nanak Dev Ji didn't start this religion. Waheguru started this religion. Do you understand that? Waheguru made this religion. Back in those days, they didn't see the difference between the Gurus and Waheguru. They didn't think Guruji was a teacher. Why would he be a teacher? Any of you bow down to your teachers at school? Any of you gone to school and mother take your teacher? Any of you cut your head off and give it to your teacher? Nahin kita na? The Sikhs did that for their Guru. So they're not a teacher. They were never a teacher. What they were was a light of God. Right? You know the sun and the moon. Do we know the difference between the sun and the moon? The moon has no light. Has no light. It reflects the light from the sun. So when you see a sun up in the sky, and the evening it goes down, and the moon comes up, it is shining. What is it shining with? The light of the sun. So if Waheguru is the sun, then Guru Nanak Dev Ji is the moon. Yeah? So in the dark night, when there's no moon, you can't see anything. But suddenly, up pops the moon. And it shines with the light of the sun. It reflects that light fully, 100%. And that's why we say, Chanda Chadeya. That's what we call Guru Nanak Dev Ji in Gurbani. We say he was the moon. Did you know that? It's a nickname for Guru Nanak Dev Ji. We say he's the moon. In the Amavas night of dark, no moon night, it's called Amavas in Punjabi, the moon of truth came up, which was Guru Nanak. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji says, In Bedyan ki kul bikhe, Pargatyo Nanak Rai. That in the family of the Bedis, up came a light, like a torch comes up. And who was that torch? Who was the light? Guru Nanak. He was a light of God. He was not a teacher. He was a light of God. And when he said something, it happened. If he said, that tree, which doesn't ever give fruit, is going to give fruit, that's exactly what that tree did. When he said, the Makkah will move, the Kaaba will move wherever you put my feet, that's exactly what happened. When he put his hand out and said that the rock that's flying towards me is going to stop if I put my hand, that's exactly what happened. When Guru Harkrishan Sahib Ji, who's 5-6 years old, hit this guy on the head and said, tell everybody that the meaning of the Gita, that's exactly what he did. What he said happened. Do you understand that? When God says something, it happens. Yeah? When Guru Nanak Dev Ji says something, it also happens. It doesn't stop. The hukam of Guru Nanak Dev Ji applies to this earth, 100%. If they say, fly, people will fly. Do you understand that? Guruji has that power. And in Bani it says this, very important. Satguru vich aap rakhyon, kar pargat aak sunaya. That God is in Guru. God is in Guru and everybody knows about it. Kar pargat aak sunaya. So 500 years ago, or 300 years ago, if you went to a Gurdwara and you were hanging out with all the young Sikh kids, they wouldn't say to you, Guruji is our teacher. You know what they would say? They say, Guru is a light of God. Whatever he says, happens. he's like magic. They didn't see Guruji as a normal person, they saw Guru as magic. So the first thing is that we don't tell our kids is that God made Sikhi. We took God out of it. We tell them Guru made Sikhi. Guruji never made Sikhi. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was told to come here. He was told, go to earth and enlighten these people. The second thing, he was given Bani. You know the Bani that he said? He didn't say that he said it. He said it came from God. Maharaj says, Jaise mein aave khasam ki Bani, taisra kari gyan ve lalo. As the Bani of God comes to me, that's how I say it out. So there's some amazing truths about Guru Nanak Dev Ji and Sikhi that maybe our kids have kind of not been told a little bit. They all think it's about Guru, it's about Waheguru. Agya pei akal ki, tabe chalayo pant. Sab Sikhan ko hukam hai, Guru manyo granth. When we bow down to somebody else who is not Guru Granth Sahib Ji, what we're saying is, God didn't make Sikhi. This is what happens. If we believe God made Sikhi, we wouldn't doubt God. Because we think Guruji made Sikhi, we start doubting our Guru. Okay, so Sukhasan taking place upstairs, huh? Guruji is letting us know. Yeah? He's here. Don't forget me. Guru Granth Sahib Ji is a light of God as well. Right? And if we don't believe that, many saints, Mahapurukhs of this century and last century, they have seen the light of Guru come out from Guru Granth Sahib Ji. They did ardas, say, Maharaj, show me your light. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji came up out of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Yeah? This is the body of the Guru as well. One form of Guru is Guru Granth Sahib Ji. But sometimes we find it hard to relate to that Guru. Yeah? Because we don't understand it. It's a different language. So we have to try to understand it. But the first thing, when you meet somebody, is to say hello. Right? So in Guru Bani, how do we say hello to our Guru? Go on. Yeah, we say Satsrikal. Satsrikal, that's a good. That was a rhetorical question. When we say Satsrikal to our Guru, what do we say? If we go upstairs to Gurdwara and you see a Guru, what's the first thing we do? It's on your lips, go and say it. Matha take. Matha take. Take means to give. Matha means your head or your mind. What we're saying in Matha take, very important, we're saying, Guruji, your way is true, my way is not true. You are my Lord and Master, I am your Sikh. That's what it means. You accept whatever Guru says is true, whatever we think is true, is not true. That's the real thing about this. Matha take means, Thodi mat is better than my mat. Gurmat is better than Manmat. Gurmat means the Guru's wisdom. Guru ki mat tu le e aane. Pagat bina bahut be syane. Bahut syane bande. Very clever people, even more clever than me, more intelligent, well educated, they all drowned. This physical death, they died the physical death. Everybody died the physical death. But they also died the spiritual death. They died the spiritual death and they went back into the life cycle. They never got out. Oh, Syane log died this death. Maharaj says, Guru ki mat tu le aane. Oh, silly person. That's what Anna means. Oh, silly person, take the wisdom of the Guru. Accept Guru's wisdom as truth. Don't think that you know the truth. Any Sikhiya, to take the wisdom of somebody higher than you. For us is Guru. The second thing I want to talk about, remember I said the first thing is that we've forgotten that God made Sikhi and that Waheguru is one. The second thing we forgot is that God gives justice, true justice. We're all trying to fight our own justice. Yeah? We forgot that God gives justice. Yeah? Maharaj says in Bani, Vadi vadi ai ja vadda nao. Vadi vadi ai ja sach nyao. That Waheguru gives true justice. So when we see somebody do something bad, they're going to get the results of it. Because we believe in reincarnation, don't we? So the clever person doesn't do anything wrong. Do you know why? Because if you slap, have you seen those things like they spin around and round? And if you whack it on this arm, what happens next? It comes round and whacks you on your own head. So who would stand there hitting that thing again and again and letting it whack them on the head? Would that person be clever or would they be silly? Silly. When you do something wrong, that's what's going to happen. You do anything wrong, it's going to come back and smack you on the head. You can't get away with it. God is watching everything. Hazir, Hazur. Waheguru is watching every single thing. If somebody does something wrong, they can't get away with it. Ajkal de Sikh bhi bhul gaye hage, inne sare pakhand ho rahe ne, but they forgot Waheguru is watching every single thing. Ajkal Gurdwara vich golak de utte tara lagana penda hega ki chori na ho jave golak to. Imagine that. There was once there's a saying I heard. Back in the day, Sikhs were pakke and the Gurdwara were kache. They were made out of mud. Now they say the Gurdwara are pakke. They're made out of bricks and concrete. But the Sikhs are left kache. Ye gal hogi hai aajkal. We break our vishwas like that. Kuch bhi ho jave. Even today somebody on Facebook said that if you do good, you should be rewarded with good. The minute we get something wrong in our life, we say, leave Sikhi, what's the point of that? A little thing goes wrong, we leave our Sikhi. Maharaj says in Gurbani, ki you ask for 20 things, yeah, but he doesn't give you one of those, he gives you 19 or 10 things. You get 10 things and you ask for one more, but you don't get that one thing, but you got 10. And what happens if you don't get that one thing? You leave it. And Maharaj says, das bhi na de, ek bhi hirle. If he didn't give you the 10 and took them all back, what would you do then? To muda kahu kaha kare. What would you do then? We got so many things. Look, have you all got food? You all got nice shoes, nice clothes, got a house? Yeah? You're in the top 5% of the world. Waheguru, 5% of the world. We're living, we are that top 10%. That's God. We are living an amazing quality of life. You may not feel like that when you look at your neighbours who've got a 5-bedroom house and a whatever, but this competition, kada nahi hona. Kada nahi khatam hona. Once you get to that level, the stressed out people are the millionaires. They're trying to become multi-millionaires because they hang out with multi-millionaires. The multi-millionaires, they want to become billionaires because they hang out with people that are higher. Your sangat will determine how happy you are. Because you'll always compare yourself. It's a human thing. If you hang out with the right people, and the focus is how much path did you do? How much bani did you do? How much kirtan did you do? How much simran did you do? Everybody's focusing on the right thing. They listen to Guru's mat. If you start hanging out with the people that are comparing about how much money did you earn? What kind of degree did you get? Yeah? What kind of car you got? These are questions we ask each other sometimes. Sach keh lo. Then we ask each other, gaddi kitne leti sigi? Huh? Where did you get this door from? Where did you get this furniture from? Where did you get that pair of shoes from? Where did you get that dress from? Where did you get that phone from? All we do all day long is we compare with each other. And all we're doing is assessing, where are we? You know why this happens? Because we forgot Gurbani. The thing I talked about a minute ago, we forgot this part, that justice comes from God. When somebody does something bad to us, we don't have to worry. When Bhai Taru Singh movie dekhi sigi, Bhai Taru Singh, they said to him, ki that guy might sell you out. Huh? Chachu jala siga, he was a bad man, yeah? Chachu was going to sell him out. You know what Bhai Taru Singh said? Bhai Taru Singh said, whoever kills, no one kills, it's only God. You know Bhai Rajwana, when he was the big issue about Bhai Rajwana, Uswele took a hukum now from Guru Granth Sahib Ji. You know what Guru Granth Sahib Ji said about Bhai Rajwana? Maharaj said, Mare rakhe eko aap, manak ke kich nahi haath. From Sukhmani Sahib. No one kills but God. We forgot this truth, that justice comes from God. So what do? We go and seek justice from the British government. We go and beg justice from the Indian government. All we do is beg, beg, beg. Mangte ban gaye hai kya asi ek tarike naal? Sare pasaki, samne nyao de do. Look at that guy there, that Muslim guy. Rahim Baksh, Kareem. What did he do? He went from place to place to place to beg for justice. But the Sikhs, did they go and ask anybody else? Those Singhs that they went to ask for justice, what did those Singhs do? Did they go, oh, I'll go and ask the king of Delhi for you. I'll do. No. They said, we'll get you justice. The Sikhs don't go to anybody else for justice. They go to Waheguru. That's why there's an Akal Takht, the throne of God. And who sat on there? Guru Gobind Sahib Ji. Guru Gobind Sahib Ji is the light of God. And he is the king of the world. Back in those days, 300 years ago, the Sikhs saw themselves as the rulers of the world. And they said, Guru is our king. Sache Pasha. Have you heard that word before? Sache Pasha. That means the true king of this world and the next world. So in heaven, there is a king. And his name is Guruji. He's a king of heaven. And on earth, there's a king. And it's Guruji. That's what the Sikhs saw back in those days. So they didn't turn to anybody else for help. They turned to the true king. Who is that? Guru. Guru is a true king. They believed in justice from God. And they believed in delivering justice. Not begging for it, in delivering it. When Sikhs were asked for help, they didn't go and do petitions. They went and delivered justice. So we should be in our local area delivering justice. I know it sounds a bit scary nowadays, but 200-300 years from now, there will be groups called Sikhs. You can go and ask them for help and they will sort the problem out. That will happen. Do you know why it will happen? Because you lot will make it happen. Because back in those days, that's what we did. We did make it happen. We were not the people to sit around and wait for justice. We were the kind of people to deliver justice. Because not only did Waheguru make Sikhi, Waheguru also made the Khalsa. And what is the job of the Khalsa? Is to give that justice. What do we say? Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa. Khalsa, Akal Purukh ki Fauj. If I was the Queen of England, I'm not, but if I was, and I wanted to do something, who would I ask to do that? Would I ask the police? Would I ask the state's politicians? Or what's the Queen's main job title? She's the head of the army. Did you know that? The Queen is the head of the army. So the Queen would ask the army to go and do something. And then when they had foot and mouth in this country, all those sheep had to be killed. It wasn't the policemen that did it. It wasn't the civil sector workers. They didn't say teachers go out there and start shooting sheep to death. Who did they ask? The army. They asked the army to go and do it. When there's a firefighter strike, who gets asked to come and do the job? Army. Why is the army always asked to do those things that everybody else says, no, we don't want to, we're on strike? Why is the army always asked to do that? Because the army can't say no. The army is ruled by the Queen. They're not allowed to say no. Khalsa, Akal Purukh ki Fauj. This Khalsa Fauj has been started by Waheguru. Agya Pei Akal ki Tabe Chalayo Panth. And one thing we forgot about is that Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa means the Khalsa is the army of God. Waheguru started it, and Waheguru told the Khalsa, go and do my job. No one else is giving justice. Stop moving your chairs, yeah? No one else is giving justice, but the Khalsa will give justice. True justice. Because the Khalsa belongs to God. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa. What's the Khalsa want to do? What's the mission of the Khalsa? It's just two lines we say all the time in the Gurdwara. Even Bhai Sahib stands up, introduces everybody. What is the job of the Khalsa? It's in the next line. Who can say the next line? I'll say, Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa. I'm the Khalsa who belongs to Waheguru. Waheguru made me. And then, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. Fateh means victory. Victory to Waheguru. What does Waheguru want? Justice. What's the Khalsa give? Justice. The Khalsa is made to do the job that Waheguru wants to do, which is justice. And then there's another word called dharam. Dharam means righteousness. The Khalsa is that dharam, lives to deliver dharam. So Bhai Sahib earlier was saying about Begumpura. Begumpura, this is the ideal, the lovely world we're supposed to live in. It's not going to come like magic. Whose job is it to give Begumpura to the world? Khalsa. The Khalsa has been given that job. Ajkal da Khalsa bhul gaya. It forgot the mission. We thought our mission was to make Gurdwara, so we made Gurdwara. We thought our mission was to give people langar, so we get langar. We forgot our mission was to build a just society in the world. Therefore, take part in every part of society, and wherever we go, if someone says, "Who are you to do this?" And if you go out there and start saving people, they'll say, "Who are you to do this?" And in a minute, you're going to find that Bhai Taru Singh will ask the same question. Who are you to go and save this girl? The Muslim guy, he runs that kingdom. But the Sikhs went and saved her anyway. Who are we to do that? What's the answer? Who are we? Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa. That's who we are. We're the Khalsa of Waheguru. And they go, what do you want? And we say, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. Isn't it amazing, these two words? These two lines, we say them all the time. It's saying, Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa. That's who we are. What do you want? Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. That's what we want. That's it. Mission statement, everything stated. You don't need to know my name. Who cares what my name is? What's my job? Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa. What do I want to achieve? Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. This is what they believed in, the Chote Sahibzade. Because when they went up and they called him inside the court of that king, who said he's a king. They never saw him as a king. They were tu kaun hai? And they went down and they bent down like this to go through the door. There was a door, it was kept low. And they didn't want to bend down their necks. Because when you bend down your neck, that means you're bowing, yeah? So they bent down like that. And they went through the door, kept their head up straight. And then they said to him, Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. He couldn't believe it. He goes, look at these kids. Who do they think they are? Who did they think they were? They thought they were the Khalsa of Waheguru, the army of Waheguru. That's why they said that. They knew who they were. They knew they were sent on earth with a mission. Those that have taken Amrit, you're not Sikhs anymore. The people that haven't taken Amrit, you're Sikhs. Those that have taken Amrit, you're part of the Guru. You're the Guru and there's a Sikh. If you're part of the Guru Khalsa Panth, you're no longer a Sikh. You're part of the Guru. This thing, if you take an Amrit, ask yourself, what would Guru do? And then go and do that. And that's such a, what would I do? Who cares? Who are you anymore? You killed yourself when you took Amrit. Who's alive now? Guru. Guru is living in you. What would Guru do? Go and do that. That's the only question we have to ask ourselves in the morning. Look in the mirror. Look at the world. What would Guruji do? Guruji would do his part and go out there and sort things out. Yeah? That's what we should do. Do our part and go out there and just show the world what is the Khalsa. That's our mission in life. And you lot, it's for you. Your age. Chote Sahibzade were your age. Don't think it's for the oldies. Nowadays, when you go to Amrit Sanchar, there's a lot of old people there. Don't move. A lot of old people taking Amrit because they've lived their life. Yeah? They think, chalo han Amrit daro, mukti mil jani. In the old days, they would have said, don't worry about it. You're too old for Amrit now. Tusi part kar lo, apna jina karna hega. The Khalsa was for the young lot. Because they had to do something. They had a mission. Now when you go in the army now, can you join when you're 50 years old in the army? What would they say to you? If you went to the army recruitment office and you said, I'd like to join the army please, when you're 50 years old, what would they say? Nah, you're not fit enough. You're not strong enough. To see, go home and do your part. Singhs would get that question in the old days. There would be 5 Singhs making Amrit, and there'd be 2 people outside as guard. Before you went to take Amrit, they'd say, why are you taking Amrit for? If your answer was, because I'm getting old now, and I better take Amrit before I die, then they would say, this is Khalsa Amrit. We to go fight a battle. Are you ready for it? You go, no, not fight no battle. and go home. Who would take Amrit? Young lot. People that are going to do something. The Khalsa was an activist army. The Khalsa was no longer a Sikh. The Khalsa had become the body of the Guru. So, they believed in reincarnation. They believed in becoming Amrit, in immortality through Guru's way. And they also, apart from believing justice, they did see life as a game. Life is a game. What kind of game is it? It's a game of love. Je to prem khiran ka jao, sir tar tali gali meri aao. It marg pay tari je, sir dije kaan na kije. What that means is, if you want to play this game of love, it's a game of love. It's not hard work. Oh, love. What a problem. I've got to carry love on my shoulder. It's killing me. It wasn't like that. It was a game. You like playing games? Probably like playing iPhone apps nowadays. Do you like playing games? We all like playing games. Even the older lot, they get on their PlayStation nowadays, yeah? 30 saal de bande bhi khelde hege. Stop moving your heads, yeah? Even the old people like playing games. Je to prem khiran ka jao. This was the game of love. What do you have to do to play this game? Come with your head, the palm of your hands, and give it to Guru. They weren't afraid of death. They weren't afraid of the physical death. What were they afraid of? Spiritual death. Sir jave, ta jave, meri sikhi sthit na jave. They understood spirituality. That brings me to the final point of this talk. The final point is this. Gurbani. What is the point of it? This is the final point. The most important thing that they had was Gurbani, which Sahibzade, I'm sorry to say, a lot of our youth do not have. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of our youth don't have Gurbani at all. Masa kuch pata hega, they can't read Punjabi, yeah? They don't understand part. And the Gurdwara, imagine if you came to Gurdwara every Sunday, and the first thing they asked you before you came to have langar, they stopped you and said, "Ik minute, are you a Sikh?" You said, "Hanji." What does the Mool Mantar mean? If you couldn't answer the Mool Mantar question, you weren't allowed in. Imagine if that happened every day. Every time you go to Gurdwara, they said, "No longer until you understand Mool Mantar." Would it happen nowadays? How many people would pass? Langar in the Gurdwara, who would eat it? How many of our youth even understand Mool Mantar? Hi, imagine that. Ikon God. What's that mean? They say there is one God. Bas. If you go to any Punjabi, old Punjabi Gudka, which has got the arth of Ik Onkar takes about 4 or 5 pages. 4 or 5 pages on Ik Onkar. What do we say? There is one God. That's it. We reduced it to 4 words. That's some amazing editing, isn't it? Somebody wrote 20 pages, 5, 10 pages. People do katha of Ik Onkar. If you do Sant Maskeenji's katha, their katha of Ik Onkar goes on for about 3-4 hours. And nowadays we tell our kids, there's one God. Sorry Sahibzade, I noticed that on the way in. It's on the top of your Gurdwara. At the front of your Gurdwara, which is really good by the way. Not saying it's really good that people even have put that up on the Gurdwara. Because who knows, as far as they're concerned, you lot could be Muslims, you could be anything. Yeah? You put it up, there is one God. Sahibzade, Ik Onkar is really, really, really deep. If there was a test for Ik Onkar before you have langar, I'm sorry to say, but probably 80% of our youth would fail that test. They won't be having any pizza or chips today. They'll be sitting there with their stomachs grumbling going, where's the book about Ik Onkar? Where's the test? Because in school when you have a test, what do they tell you? Did they teach you first? Or did they just give you the test? Now they teach you first, isn't it? They teach you it first, then they give you the test. So where's our teaching? Kitte teaching. Every Sunday they should be telling you in English, what does Ik Onkar mean? Because we say it all the time. How many people say Ik Onkar at home? Do your parents say, let's learn the Mool Mantar? We all know it, yeah? Ik Onkar. Do you see that picture of Guru Nanak Dev Ji with his hand up like this? And he's very old, he's got his eyes up in the sky. What's he got on his hand? Ik Onkar, yeah? We don't even know what it means. Sikhi shuru utthon hi hegi hai. Ik Onkar. Sat Naam. The Sat means the truth. the eternal truth, i.e. Ek Onkar. It's going back like this, that Ek Onkar, Sat Nam. It's a circle. If you want to find Ek Onkar, you have to go, that's the truth. How do I find it? Through Nam. These three things are related. Ek Onkar is the truth, Sat, and you can find it through Nam. And if you take Nam out, you can put Ek Onkar, Sat, Gur Prasad. The Guru can give you Nam. Satguru Sikho Nam Tan De. What does it say next? Gur Ka Sikh Vadbhagi Hai. The Guru gives Nam. That's why sometimes it says Ek Onkar Sat Nam. And sometimes it says Ek Onkar Sat Gur Prasad. This is the Sat. Those two words, Sat Nam and Sat Guru, they're split. The Sat is Waheguru. Even the Sat we lost. People say Satnam, 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 Waheguru, 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 but they don't know that it's telling you to find the Sat, you need the Nam. It's so deep, Sangat. Let's next Sunday do a test in the Gurdwara. Whoever doesn't remember that doesn't get langar. Imagine that. Pure hafte you'll be studying it if you thought you're not going to get langar on Sunday and you're going to get tested. We teach our kids, we test them by everything. We don't test them on their Sikhi. No wonder they don't know. Na asi sikhande hege, na asi test lagande hege. If a Gurdwara is a school and the Guru is a teacher and the Sikh is a student, where are the classes? Where are the classes? You know what we have upstairs in Gurdwara? We have assembly. We've been to assembly in school. What happens? All the children sit together. Young ones, old ones. This is assembly. This is not how you would send your kids to school. Would we send our kids to a school like this, where somebody comes up and does assembly for everybody all day long? We wouldn't send our kids to that school. We say, nah. It's got good standards, good teachers. We don't care 2 seconds about what's going on in our Gurdwara. If it's a school, we need to be very careful what is being taught in that school. Are they teaching anything? Is it just assembly all day long? Is everybody getting bored at the front? Probably they are now. We're talking for so long. How long have I had? Okay. This is what's happening. We are not teaching our kids classes about Sikhi. So they've forgotten all these truths I've been talking about. Most kids don't even think about reincarnation. Most kids don't even think about Nam as the way to get out of this cycle. And they don't think about spiritual death. So no wonder they're scared of physical death. How many of you are scared of physical death right now? If I said outside, if you walk outside this door, you could get killed. Anybody going to go outside? We're all scared of physical death. But when we do Benti Jobi that part, we say, Maran Kal Ka Tras Nevariye. Or Waheguru, take away my fear of death. That's what every Sikh asks their Guru for. Don't let me be scared of death. But all day long we are scared of death. What are they? In India they say this. Sare chaunde ne ki Bhagat Singh dobara paida hove. But sadde ghar vich nahi. That's what they say in India. Everybody wants a shaheed to be born, but not in their house. They don't want to lose their kids. Ajkal Sikhi has become that thing what I said to you. We were very kache Gurdwara made out of mud. Just people sitting outside with a little tent. That was Sikhi then. But the Sikhs were strong. Nowadays, Gurdwaras are strong. You can't hit them. They're concrete. You can't do anything to them. You can't tar them. You have to blow them up. But the Sikhs, Sikh kache ho gaye. They're not strong. They're not willing to go and give their shahidi. They're not willing for it. They want someone else to go forward and do it. But tusi kar lo, we'll follow you. You do it, we'll follow you. Everybody's waiting for that Sant Jarnail Singh to come back. I want to talk about the last bit. We're not giving our kids a Gurbani. And I want to tell you something about Gurbani which is really nice. Have you all like cake? Hands up if you don't like cake. I'm going to assume most of you like cake. But je koi virla hega, हाथ उठे खड़े कर लेवे जे जिन्होंने केक नहीं पसंद खांदे हो ना केक बर्थडे केक सारे केक चॉकलेट केक you don't like cake Oh man, one kid always had to be, there's always one, they say. Some mothers do have them, yeah? So, most of us like cake. ठीक है ना? Most of us like cake. Gurbani is like a cake. There's a video about this on our YouTube channel. Why is Sikhi like a cake? Should I tell you the secret of cake? It has an icing, but the icing is not important. People want the cake. Now, the Sikhs have an icing as well. They have this outer form, looks like Guru, yeah? But the icing is not important. It's not important, but it looks nice. But what's important? It's the cake. The cake inside is important. Do you know what the cake is made out of? Most cakes are made out of chocolate, flour, eggs and all these things. Here's what our cake is made out of. Every evening we read it. All of us read this recipe for cake. Did you know that? If you put on your radio or you know about Sikhi, you watch Sangat TV, every evening they tell you what this cake is made out of. I'll read it with you, you remember it all of a sudden. Yeah? It says, Thal vich tin vastu payo Sat santokh vicharo Amrit naam Thakur ka payo Jiska sabs adharo Jeko khave Jeko bunche Tiska hoye udharo Ehe vast taji nahi jai Nit nit rakh urtaro. I'll stop there for a second. Sab Nanak Brahm Pasaro. You know, what it's saying is, there's 3 ingredients to the cake. Satya, Santok and Vichar. And it's held together, you know when cake is held together by egg, this cake is held together by Amrit Naam. Amrit Naam, Thakur ka, of Waheguru's payo, Jiska sabas adharo, is supporting it all together. This cake of Sikhi gives you 3 things. It gives you truth, that's Sat. Just jada naam lende hai. We take the name of the truth and it brings us back to the truth. Right? Sat Naam, through the name. Eh Sat, the eternal truth, Waheguru. The second thing gives you is contentment, Santok. If you have contentment, you don't need to have a bigger car. You don't need to have a bigger house. You don't need to look so slick. You don't care. You're content. Have you seen anybody who's content? If anybody's got an animal, give them some food and watch them afterwards how they sleep so content. Or look at a baby when it's had food and milk, and after you burp it, that baby does not care what's going on in the world. It's nice, it's happy. But you know what's happened to us nowadays? Pukhiyan pukhna utri, je banna puriya par. We're just collecting, getting more and more into our house, but pukhni utari. Nahi utardi. That's what's happening to our society. We're not telling our kids, there is no sukh in the outside world. It's all dukh. Nanak dukhiya, sab sansar. The whole world is dukhi. In Naam, there is contentment. This Amrit Naam is holding it together. Maharaj says, Ki deho Naam santokhiya, utre man ki bukh. Your hunger will not go until you get Naam. That's why the Naam is holding it together. So in life, there's one truth you want to know. Without knowing Naam of Waheguru, you will never ever find peace. You will never ever find peace unless you find Naam. It's not my words, sorry to say to you, it's not my words, it's Guruji telling you. You need to eat this cake every day. Nita nita rakhurtaro. This cake gives you truth, contentment, and the last thing is vichar. This is what we're doing now. Contemplation, thinking. Human beings are thinking people. What do we do now? We put the TV on and we stop thinking. We just stop thinking. We're tired of thinking, we turn the TV on, we don't want to think no more, we just want to listen. Gurdwara has become like that. We come upstairs and we sit down and no one's thinking about Gurbani. What does it mean? Vichar nahi ho raha. That's the reason we're losing Sikhi, because we're not vicharing. Vichar nahi kar rahe Sikhi jate. What is the point of life? Every single person should be asking themselves this question every day. Why am I alive? E sarira meriya, is jag mein aike, kya tud karam kamaya? Ke karam kamaya tud sarira, ja tu jag mein aya. Jin har tera rachan nachya, so har manna vasaya. So har manna vasaya. Then Gur Prasadi, har man vasya, purab likhya paya. Kahe Nanak, eh sarir parwan hoa, jin Satguru sochit laya. That's the real body is accepted if it goes to Guru. Without that, wasted your life. Asadiwal Maharaj कहते हैं कि यह मानस जन्म दुलम्भ है, नाम बिना बिरथा सब जाए. Without Naam, this life is wasted. If I gave you $1 million, recently, it's a funny story for you. A week ago, Camelot, who run the National Lottery, you see National Lottery? Does your family buy tickets for National Lottery and hope they win the lottery? Anybody watch it on Saturday? Okay. Recently, somebody won £56 million. Can you believe it? That person didn't turn up to claim it. Ahini. Camelot spent months looking for this person because they had to pay them 56 million. Or banda kade bhi nahi aaya. Ticket gawaj ki honi, put it in the washing machine. Oh yaar, could have been the one that won, probably don't even know. But that person, because they weren't found, Camelot gave the money away to charity. They gave it away. Ki karna si? It's not their money, somebody else won it. That's what's happening to us. We got this winning ticket in our pocket. It says, Naam. You're a human being, you can get Naam. You're a human being, you can get Naam. Pai parapat manuk de horiya, Gobind milan ki eh teri bariya. This is your chance to meet God. This is your chance to come out of this spiritual circle. How? Through Naam. To saying Waheguru. The Sikhs in those days, they understood this. They understood that life is not about life. Life is about that kind of death. The real death. Not this physical death, the spiritual death. The spiritual death comes without Naam. Spiritual life comes with Naam. Gur ki mat tu le aane, pagat bina bahut dube sane. Very clever people drowned because they didn't have Naam. Naam bina birtha sab jaye. This truth about Naam being so important is so important, it's a second word. Ikonkar Sat Naam. Without this Naam, our life will be wasted. Have you seen somebody throw away money? Anybody seen people throw away money? If you go on the street, does anybody throw away money? We throw it away. The Sikhs throw it away. All the time. Bani hagi hai. We throw it away. Mitra pyare ji. Mitra pyara Nanak ji. Main chhad gavaya. Rang kusambe pulli. My beloved God, I threw him away. For what reason? For the sake of Maya, the outside world. Yahi ho raha hai. So Sanjay, I won't take any more of your time. I want to finish off with something nice. In this video, what they said, at one point, every single Sikh had a price on their head. They were trying to kill Sikhi off, wipe it off totally. Many people have tried. Many people have failed. Why will Sikhi never die? Why will Sikhi never die from human beings? Sikhi will never die because God made Sikhi. We didn't make Sikhi. Gurus didn't make Sikhi. Waheguru made Sikhi. Sikhi ne kade nahi harna. Fateh hi honi hegi hai. Because Waheguru made it. And nobody can change Waheguru's hukum. He's a Sajjan Sacha Padshah. Sir Sahade Shaho. He's the king of all kings. Tahi Sikhi kade nahi harni. I'm sure one of you lot could be a Bhagat. This will happen in our Panth. So many amazing people will come upon this earth. This country will become Khalsa. This country will become part of the Khalsa Raj. The Khalsa will rule the world. If you don't believe me, watch. Just watch. The world is going to say, Sikhi is what I want to follow. And they're going to come and say to you, why aren't you following it? It's so amazing. Why aren't you following it? You watch. By the time you get to 50 years old, there'll be loads of people like Benji over here. Loads of people who are British born coming to Gurdwara. And they'll say, I want to be a Sikh. But we can't say no. We can't say no. Yeah? Because Guruji said to us, every human being can have Sikhi. Jagat Guru. So I'll finish off with that. And the funny thing is, people joined Sikhi when Sikhs were being killed. When Sikhs were fighting for Sikhi and dying for Sikhi, loads of people kept joining Sikhi. When the Sikhs stopped fighting for Sikhi and they stopped living the Sikhi, no one's joining. When Paira Jawana is prepared to give his head, everybody's got orange on their Facebook wall. When no one's doing it, no one's interested. Sikhi will come about when we start giving our shahidiyan. That's the way Sikhi grows. As they cut us, the more we grow. So, my only talk today was about the Sahibzade. When they gave Sikhi, we remember them. When they lived Sikhi, we remember them. If they left Sikhi, we would never remember them. Never ever would we remember them if they left Sikhi. People will remember us if we stick to Sikhi. They will never remember us if we leave Sikhi. If you want to be forever Amarpuri, we need Sikhi, we need Naam. So Gurbani is there. You can go on the YouTube channel. We explain Gurbani in much more detail. I'm sure I made loads of mistakes, but Maharaj is pulling hard and I just try to follow what he tells me. So, meri galtiyan maaf kar deniya. Please come onto our channel, see what we're doing. If you want to support this work, then obviously you've seen the leaflets. We want to do this consistently. Every Gurdwara, we're going to come again to the other Gurdwara in January. And Maharaj Kirpanal, over the next few 5, 6, 10 years, we want all the kids of this age to understand what is Sikhi. Doesn't matter if you follow it, as long as you know it. And no one can say, I didn't know. So the maqsad, spread Guru's wisdom. So Waheguru ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru ji ki Fateh.